Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Sunday, October 13th, 2019. My name is Rich, and joining me with a very full belly is Bijan. How you make it out?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm in death's door, man. This, oh man, Rich, this might be a surprise to you, man, but my fiance Sarah and I were very competitive people.
Not that shocking. I was, I've met Sarah in person as well, and I could tell you two like to go hard.
Yeah, sometimes that's to our detriment, man. So there's this thing called Taste of North Park. There might be Taste of whatever in your guys' neighborhoods, for one. But North Park is kind of like one of the culinary spots in San Diego. It's a community where there's all these startup, restaurants and businesses, a variety of different eclectic, unique foods. And so we went to, this day. We had 3.5 hours to eat at our choice of 44 different restaurants. Usually people will pick and choose about 5 of them, just see what they have, walk around, see the area. Sarah and I, that's not how we roll. Guess what we did, man?
I know what you did, but you share what you did with the listeners.
We ended up going to every single one of them.
And how many is that again?
2. So we ate at 42 different restaurants at the end of the day. And I feel like, the person from like Willy Wonka, the kid that just like ate the wrong thing and just like became a balloon. Like That's me right now. Oh my, I am. It hurts, man.
I like that you get home and you just collapse, right? Like
we both passed out on the bed. And then I get woken up by my 35-pound dog just stepping right on my stomach and me almost vomiting everywhere. It was it was an experience.
Right. I should say, like, we launched right into all this. What we're here to actually discuss today is going to be a light and easy episode this time around. We're just going to cover some ninja news and some upcoming topics. And, we'll keep it light after the very long, very complicated episode we had last week with our special guests.
I thought it was a food episode. But yeah, last week was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Rich has to edit this stuff, so I'm sure he's quite happy to have a short episode with one single person's other line to edit.
I have to say, though, I absolutely loved that episode. I was very happy with how it came out. I'm glad those of you that wrote in and liked it, too, I'm glad you did. And we love doing the awards every year. Thank you once again to Taryn and Lita and Travis for joining us.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that participated in that episode. And man, we got more feedback than any other year. Like this year, man, there was so much interest, so many people participating.
Yeah, it was wonderful. But that being said, we are in the off season now. So we continue on. For those that didn't realize, we just popped up in your podcast feed. If you didn't realize, we go year round. So right about now, there is a little bit of a lull. So we have to look around and see what there is to talk about. And thankfully, Ninja's a gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it is a sport. There's always shows. There's always competitions happening. And, of course, when ANW Junior pops up, when Ultimate Beastmaster pops up, all the shows that also deal with obstacle courses, we're going to be covering it. So don't worry, guys. There's always something for us to talk about.
That's right. So this week, one of the things that popped up on our feeds was some ninja drama, which is very unusual, right? It's a very cooperative, very friendly, spirited community, but there's always going to be those people, those little moments where things just don't gel as well as you would like.
Hey, stuff happens, man.
Yeah, so we had this video on Instagram, and I will link it in the show notes for those that didn't see it, from Next Level Ninja Games, which honestly, I gotta admit, I haven't heard of till now.
Are they new, or have they been running for a while?
I feel like with the amount of shade this guy's throwing, it certainly sounds like they've been around for a little while. But I could be wrong. Maybe they're new. They have quite a few followers, right? So I think they've been around for a little bit. But Adam from there posted a video wearing a Ninja Intensity shirt because they have an upcoming competition there, and basically was going on about how and very, very much emphasizing that their competition doesn't give special treatment to named ninjas or to family members or charge people for watching it, that it is a sport. And he was very, very poignant in the way he was saying that.
I love how, I guess, political, or, not political, what's the term? Like, you walk around it so well, Rich. Let's be real. This dude was throwing so much shade, and it was filled with so much attitude. And the thing is that I really agree with his points. He brings up good points. He's talking about the sport and everything, and it's a really good message if you understand what he's saying. But I gotta say, the dude needs to work on how he's saying it, because when you go that hard with that much attitude, it almost takes away the credibility of what you're talking about. It just seems so, I guess, negative in a way where it's just like, I don't want to hear this, man. Like, and it's like 3 minutes, and after like 50 seconds, I'm done. I'm like, I get your point, and he keeps, emphasizing the same points. I understand what he's saying, and my dude, whoever you are, like, if I were you, I would just say you might want to revise what you're talking about, because context and the way that you're saying it always matters. And if you ever want to speak your truth, hey, come on our podcast. You can always speak your truth. I have no problems with anybody, but man, he really should rethink that, because it's kind, in my opinion, it kind of sours my viewpoint of the whole thing.
Yeah, it kind of fits more into mentality. Like if you're if you're in a competition like MMA and your league is, if it's a more combative league, and the spirit of it is in that, then that almost fits on brand. And that's a whole different feeling than in a ninja community. It really doesn't come across well at all, I think, especially. But like you said, the message is fine, right? To say that, the focus should be on ninja being a sport and it should be fair for everyone. Mentions things like, there's no beta on obstacles, no watching other competitors' runs, things like that. Like, they really are trying to make it as fair for everyone as possible, which is a great message. You just got to deliver it in a way that doesn't alienate people or set you in direct contrast to the friendlier, more, I don't know, ninja spirited leagues. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. It's just a very jarring difference.
It's just the way it was, or the way it's the video came across. It's very aggressive, and I think it's way too aggressive and confrontational. So for a family sport and things like that, the branding's on point. It's just, you really need to think about how you come across when making videos.
In our sport, which is an actual sport, live streamed on Twitch, if you didn't know, Next Level Ninja Games. Our sport is about the athletes, not the company. Think about that for a second. We care about you first.
I mean, everything he's talking about, you can make a really fun video being like, check out us, we're the new sport, the new thing. No, and you could just be like, no, things like this, we put emphasis on this, and you don't have to throw a shade like, we are a sport, okay? Like, these other ones are blah, blah, blah. Guys, we're a sport. Like, it's the context and the way that you do things. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, I wish him best, but in my opinion, not the best luck. All right, I feel like we said enough.
Yeah, I think we covered it. Because I want to get into some more uplifting news here. We have a new online streaming service with with Disney Plus and Netflix and Amazon and all these other things going on. We have a new competitor in town.
Oh man, they're gonna take down all of them.
UNX Now has opened up shop, and it is all about ninja. I love it.
Yeah. This is really cool, man. I'm really curious to see how this comes off the ground. I mean, we've got so many different ninja competitions now. Ninja Nation, UNAA, National Ninja League. But this kind of seems like less of a regional competition league and more of a channel in sense.
Okay, so taking a look at UNX Now, it seems like they have two levels. You can get a free account and it gives you some limited access to videos and content that they create. Or you can pay $5.99 per month and get a subscription plan and get access to everything that they're putting out. And I think we're gonna try it out. We have to give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot. Right now, they're just starting, so there's not like insane amounts of content. But we're pretty confident they're gonna have a steady stream of things like always available for people to watch and see, right?
Yeah, and those that have checked it out, there are some people talking on the subreddits already, saying that it's good. It's really well produced, and the commentary is great. So I'm excited.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Okay. Feedback's always the most important thing. I mean, we can talk about it however much, but like what really matters is hearing the audience. So it's good to hear that there's good vibes. I can't speak to it because I have a free account, but I'll be honest, I haven't really checked it out too much. Now, from what you understand, they're going to be covering like regional competitions, but like what is this thing really covering, or what kind of videos and stuff are they going to do?
That's a great question. We're kind of just getting some information on it now. There's a really cool promo video for it, and I did reach out to them, and we may have somebody come on the podcast with us to talk through it. So I don't want to give a bunch of impressions without, if we're going to have somebody on, I'd rather them tell you themselves what it's going to be all about.
Yeah, for real.
Us speculating's not the best thing for it, probably.
No, but that's exciting, man. I mean, once again, American Ninja Warrior, at least in America, it's becoming less of like some show that happens once or twice a year and far more of a sport. I mean, it's already a sport, but you know what I mean? Like a big deal. And more people, this is becoming their life. This is becoming a thing. And it's interesting to see Ninja Warrior proper with like just straight obstacle courses. And then this other thing that's also huge in America and around the world called obstacle course races. I'm more of the obstacle course race, thing. That's like was my life for like over a decade. But ANW proper and all this stuff is like a whole other thing. And I really like the fact that, hey, they're similar, but two like completely different things and also very popular.
Yeah, it's coming into its own. It's expanding, it's growing, and it's specialized. So it won't just be, I mean, we're seeing more and more. When we first started this podcast, there were a few dozen gyms out there. I sent posters out to a bunch of them. Now I'd have no hope of reaching them all. There are so many specialized ninja gyms. Most of the ones I sent to were a CrossFit gym with, a salmon ladder.
Yeah.
Like they're very, very niche and usually just a corner of another facility. Now they are full-fledged gyms of their own.
Yeah, and that's really awesome, man. A lot more are expanding. I really hope some expand out in San Diego area. Just saying.
Yeah.
Some biggins. But yeah, it's really cool to see that it's still growing and a lot of people are creating endeavors. Now, it seems like do you think this is going to be like the new, like, I don't know who's running this. I understand there's some like big name ninjas like being the front people of it. But is this affiliated with like NNL or UNAA or any of those other like leagues?
It seems to be something separate altogether. I don't know how it all relates. And that's kind of one of the big questions I had too was, is this a competitor to them? Is it an outlet for them? Will they be featuring content from those leagues? Both of them? One of them? I don't know.
Well, we'll keep a track on that. I mean, if this really becomes a big thing, this will be another part that we can touch on. I mean, if the audience wants to, give us feedback of how much you want to hear about it and the competitions on this show. I mean, do you want us to have like a little segment each week of being like, hey, in 2 minutes, like this happened on the thing or whatever? I mean, it's ultimately up to everyone else what you guys want to hear us cover. If you really don't care about the competitions, like, I don't really know how much people wanted to know about the National Ninja League when we were covering that. If it's not a thing, hey, we won't cover it. But ultimately, we need the feedback to know what you guys want to hear about.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of feedback saying that, anyone misses when we used to do the NNL coverage. I kind of do sometimes. I liked that we got to know a lot of the up-and-coming ninjas before they were on the show. It was nice to have that insight to it all.
Yeah.
But so that's one thing we can cover. That's one thing that's definitely on our radar, something we'll be checking out. And we'll let you know what we think. Let us know what you think. If you've already subscribed, and have an opinion you'd like to share with us, please let us know.
But of course, it's not a sport, you know. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, because they're charging. It's definitely a huge mark against them. Besides that, something I haven't announced yet on the podcast, something that we've been kind of dragging our heels on a little bit.
You're pregnant.
Yeah. Actually, my grandson is a month old now. That's how fast time flies.
Oh, my God.
Besides that, no, back when I injured myself, I injured myself almost exactly a year ago. One of the things I committed to doing was using that time effectively, right? I was laid up. I couldn't do a whole lot. And I thought there's got to be something I can do, something I can create in this time, whether it be write a book, learn a skill, whatever. And what I chose to focus my time on was actually creating an A&W board game.
Small ding for that. That sounds amazing. More details.
Right. So what I did, so it was actually inspired in a way by that awful video game that we got and tested out. I was inspired in that. I thought we can definitely do better than this, right? There's got to be a better way to capture the spirit of Ninja, have a game that's focused on beating the course and the skills and the ninjas. So I looked around for what I could do. I couldn't, physically build a board game, but I thought maybe I can do it virtually. So that's what I did. I created a virtual A&W board game, which we will be featuring in the coming, we've been dragging our heels, but I'd say within the next month, we will put together a YouTube video playing the game with some other Ninja fans and letting you see what it looks like and how it works.
This is going to be awesome. I mean, let's be real. The whatever game that happened, that travesty that happened on PS4 and everything, that was hot trash. That was hot garbage. Rich, he's putting it in his own hands. He's making it a thing. You're going to be able to play a virtual, online-ish board game. Or I shouldn't say you because I don't know what your plans are, Rich, but this sounds dope. This sounds super fun. We're going to do some Let's Plays, right? And we're going to do some fun things like that where people can see. And in many ways, maybe we can get some feedback, make this thing completely awesome.
That's right. That's the goal. So I've done some play testing, tweaked it a little bit here and there, taken some of the feedback on, how do we make it better? How do we streamline it? And I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's come out pretty good. But we will always welcome more feedback. So once we get that video out there, I hope you will all check it out. And that shouldn't be too long in the future now.
Yes, and if any A&W execs are listening, I'm sure Rich also welcomes, some partnership for this becoming a real thing.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't refuse it. Just please don't sue me. I am not making any money off this as it stands. We're just doing this as fans.
Yeah.
For love of the game.
Can you imagine less of a partnership and more of a take this down now?
Yeah, I don't need a cease and desist. Thank you. Besides that, we've been in talks with some ninjas. One that I think you will definitely be hearing join us in the coming weeks would be Cara Polillo from Ninja Babes. A longtime fan of her podcast and her
shout out
her skills on the course. So we would love to hear what she's up to. And so that sounds like it's going to happen soon.
The most accomplished A&W podcaster right now, I believe.
I believe so. So for those that don't know, in the past, we've actually covered some past A&W seasons. We did cover A&W Season 1 and Season 2. So I've had requests for us to cover Season 3. I'm curious, I guess. Are there people out there that would like to hear us cover Season 3?
We should make the addendum because, I barely remember Season 3. If we cover A&W Season 3, it will not be how we cover A&W proper. It's not going to be this person that you don't know ran, and this person that you don't know ran. Could you imagine? That would be the worst podcast ever. It would simply be like the highlights, and maybe it wouldn't take long, maybe 5 minutes. So let's clarify that for everyone.
It's going to be a condensed version. We'll watch the episodes and give our overall feedback and some highlights. It'll be similar. I believe that's how we did Season 2, but I think Season 1 we may have done a run-by-run.
Yeah, and that was a mistake. Let's be real.
I think that was not a great idea. And if we can find links to it, we will share it out. It's my my main gripe with covering these is sometimes, you kind of have to go to the darker corners of the internet to find it sometimes. And I always get requests for the links, and I can't share those out. If I do manage to find it somewhere a little easier to get to and not so shady, I will share those somewhere.
And I mean, if you have links to them, I mean, wouldn't mind getting those links. That might be easier for us too.
Yeah. To be clear, I would love legitimate places to get these. So if you know those, I will be all on board for going to Amazon or somewhere and buying up these seasons. It's just I never seem to be able to find those things.
Yeah, I mean, G4 became Esquire Network. I haven't really checked them out because, I mean, it's Esquire Network. But maybe they have the old shows. I don't see why. Why not? Maybe.
Yeah. So that's kind of what's on our bill right now. That's what's coming up in our minds. And as Bajan mentioned, we are looking forward to ANW Junior and Ultimate Beastmaster and what other obstacle shows are out there.
Yeah. Ultimate Beastmaster, it did get renewed for 4th season, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything
that show,
to the contrary.
It's kind of like just out of nowhere. It's like, bam, we're coming out in 2 weeks. And you're like, what? I think it's just a Netflix thing. And Netflix is kind of strange with their shows.
Yeah, and Ultimate Beastmaster for us is always kind of a weird thing because everyone else just marathons it, and we're going week by week. We'll have to figure out what we can do for that.
Yeah.
So that is it for this week. A short episode as promised. Thank you all for sticking around in the off season. We will make this entertaining. We will find you the fun and the ninja in the off season. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Yeah, hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is BIJAN 151.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all. I'm going to go vomit.